Hello and welcome. This is an Extra Bytes chart update on the Money Charts channel. My name is Derek. I'd like to welcome you and thank you for tuning in. Like always, all investments you make are within your own risk and your own reward. All right then. So XBY. This is something I've talked about for quite some time, over a year now. And it's down 16 and 2/3% with the last trade coming in at 471. The current bid-ask ratio has sell orders right now at 483 and the buy order in at 471. So it's been down, it's been up, all that sort of deal over the last couple of weeks. The chart had a rally up over 600. And it's only given back some of the movements, if we can see it down here at the early parts within its last run. So you go from about 650 to well below 500. There's a loss of about greater than 25%. That's just small talk in this crypto case, or the cryptoscape. Over the last month, we can see how it went down at this point. There's the rally. Is this going to be a very quick one? Because a lot of cryptos have been doing okay or well from this end of June, start of July point. This bottomed around June 26th. From about the low 400s, roughly around 425 area, and of course making a run up to about 650. And before that, if we look at the 3-month, I was talking about the buying when below 600, which would have meant in the earlier parts of May, which was a great time to buy because it even had a rally point up to about 800 or so. And then this key level, it traded amongst this point for all of May pretty much, and June. So over 2 months just consolidating within this level. So obviously I'm not as strong in buying at this point, and it wouldn't surprise me if there was to be that of a decent size leg lower. 6-month time frame, and I kind of hope there is, just so I can accumulate more. I'm still in the buying stages, although I did liquidate some. I'm going to show my last trades, and I thought, do I even do it? And I thought, yeah, reason why is because I was expecting this to go lower, and thus 6-month chart, you can see how it's been retracing lower. This was well over 5,000. I can't put this on log scale on this charting platform, I don't think. I don't see anything there that gives me any log. But it has big movements. And from its entirety, there's where we go from like 200 to like 6,000, almost a 30x gain. Oh, there was a lot of other cryptos that did better than that. And there were also a lot of ones that did worse, meaning, oh, well, some only gained like 5 or 6 times. Didn't do so well. And then some did like 80x, 100x, and maybe 300x. And regardless of the fact, a lot of cryptos will have those moves. So I think it could be poised when the crypto space in general is pumping, as in one term, or all rallying to the upside, where this is going to. And I look at this like a game, like Magic the Gathering or the Risk board game, where you pass turns. You do your turn, whether it be a short one or a long one or something in between, and then you pass the dice, or pass your turn, if you will. And in this one, between the Bulls and the Bears, well, the Bulls they were in charge for this rally up. Then the Bears have their turn. The Bulls had a half-assed, really weak turn, and this rally here. And then the Bears have been in control ever since. Are the Bulls next in line right now? I don't know, but it's only a matter of when and not if they'll have another turn. And as far as my last few trades are concerned, over the last 48 hours, I traded 1,019 at a price point of 9,397 Satoshi against Ethereum, which works out to about 680 Bitcoin price. So that was nice to see. I just found this out today. Looking at it, it's like, where did I get this Ethereum from? And then I look, oh, a sell order, Phil, sweet. And then on the 7th of July, I bought 257 at 435 Satoshi and 1,806 and change at 304. And even today, buying more at 306. And that's at a smaller exchange which is where you can get better buys and sells. You can put your orders in for majorly low levels and high levels for each one, and people will hit them. I got twice that I was able to have some of the orders that I had filled. So it's nice when that happens. And then on the main site, Cryptopia, I bought 2,200 at 475 Satoshi. And when I looked at it, I'm like, man, this looks... I'll show you what I looked at and why I decided to basically turn around and sell them all back on the market. I was able to get 11, this exact order at 500, so I just took it, put the rest on an order for 503, and it eventually did come into playing. So I got a very small gain. Thus, I got buy orders at like 430 and a bunch of places lower than that now. So I want to buy a portion of this 2,200 at 430, and with other buy orders, everything from below that as well. So I adjusted my buy orders based on the market conditions right now, and that's in play. And the reason why I thought, yeah, I should be selling it, if we look back at this on a shorter term time frame, within the weekly chart, this of course just happened earlier where it went down to 500, rallied up, and then we have another one of these moves that when we take a look at just the last couple of days, and I can maybe change this time frame over to 30 minutes. You can see charts like this and go a while without really trading too much. But with that being said, when this move spiked down to 450 and then it rallied up like this to 500, I'm thinking, you know what, this is probably going to indicate another leg lower. So that's why I decided to sell what I'd already bought at 500. Now, with the opportunity I had, normally with a lot of codes, if I'm buying at 300 when the fair price is like 450 or 480 or 500 really at this time, I could have unloaded a lot of these, but I want to accumulate XBY at the lower prices. I already bought at the what I was mentioning before down in here at the 500 level, and I've been doing trading back and forth ever since. That's not going to stop. But my next time to accumulate is, and I bought some here in the low 400s, selling some back here again, or in the 400s rather, is I want to buy these in the 300s and the 200s if I can. And I've already done some. I bought more. I didn't get anywhere near what I wanted to. In both cases, it was not order fills. It was order partial hit. And that just means if I wanted to play a bigger stake, be a bigger game player on that smaller exchange, there wouldn't have been nothing more I could have done. And that's normal with small exchanges. You can only take what the market amount gives to you. But that's, again, where you can get very good buys, very good sells. And overall, within these types of markets, you're looking at a coin that is ranked very low on CoinMarketCap, which is the ones that have the potential to have extreme gains and extreme losses. To me, it wouldn't be a surprise at any given point if some sort of announcement comes up, oh, we're going to be listed on Binance, Bittrex, or something of that nature. I thought by now it would have happened, and I've also thought by now that the crypto markets would be get out of its bear market funk, which hasn't. So what? The market's going to do what it's going to do, and I'm just going to keep adjusting towards such, realizing that if it does manage to give some of my buy order fills in at the lower levels, especially if Bitcoin goes down to 3,000, because that's where I've already bought US dollar Tether in the hopes, or that's not the hopes, because if it happens, there's no hope anymore. It's going to get done. But in the play of selling the Tether for Bitcoin, then buying XBY with Bitcoin and hoping Bitcoin's at like 200, 250 at that point. And then accumulating a whole bunch more, then watching it go up and having a lot more of these coins as it goes up compared to what I have now. So it's more profitable for me long term, I feel, if it goes down, because I do feel that there will be great market rallies, whether they happen now, whether they happen at these price pivot points or in the area of such, I don't know. But that's why I mentioned it's a matter of when, and that's why I use like games like Risk and Magic the Gathering, because there are turns that can be so fierce or so long, and some that can be so short, that this could be one of those fierce longer downtrends. But it's also can be in a spot where it can be fierce and not that long, which was the case up here where you just move up in like a month and you do the kind of moves, and it takes like half a year to get to lose what it gained. That means it is able to do the amount of damage amongst that game. And this is to me, this entire crypto space is a game. but they were able to do the amount of damage attack points, hit points, if you will. They took a lot of it down, and they only used like say 4 mana cards. Each mana card represents a week kind of deal. Yet on the other end, here they're using dozens, like 20, 30 mana cards, and they've got most of the hit points back on the other side that was done from before, considering this came up from 200, and this is now still above the 400 handle. So it hasn't given it all back as of yet, but these markets can move up fast, down fast. This was, well, currently it's around 3 cents, and even lower than that maybe now, but either way, it's just pennies now. And it was well over about 90 cents before. This thing has the potential where it could be $2, $3, $4, $5 in the future. There's so much potential upside with these kinds of coins. And for me, I've been able to get in and out at different times. Just a quick example, of course, what I showed before. And even before then, I was buying some of XBY against Ethereum and selling it against Bitcoin because I was able to get like a small 10% arbitrage on it. I did that like a couple days before July the 6th, like around the 4th, during its rally time. So I'm always going to find ways of making profits amongst this coin and all coins, of course, in which I trade. And like always, all decisions you make is within your own risk and your own reward. But I do enjoy this volatility. And I do hope in this case that it does have a retracement lower. But either way, I am fine with it. Sometimes I'll risk Bitcoin just for something to do. And I made this little small transaction of 0045 Bitcoin. And whether it's a bad bet, it probably is. But I did research on the picture, and it's only 1-0 right now in the third. And that was for the Blue Jays to win the game with at least 10 runs, getting 4.5 to 1 odds. It's the type of what I call, what word do I use? It's smart as in you are basically making a calculated gamble that is recreationally sized. You are controlling your bankroll, making a wager size that really isn't going to hurt you too much. In fact, barely touch your bankroll at all. And it can be some fun to just watch the game and hope. But I figure with the Blue Jays pitcher, he looked pretty good. I thought the Yankees pitcher didn't look so great. And I know the Yankees are good hitters. And I figure if the Blue Jays are going to beat the Yankees, that they're going to have to win like a 7-5 kind of game, where winning like a 4-2 kind of game where Blue Jays in the under, as an example, just didn't make as much sense. So I'm going to end this video and go Blue Jays with at least 10 runs in the game. But you know what? I'll get 0.02 change, which I'm going to withdraw, and then turn into... I'm going to buy stuff with it. That's what my plan is if I win. If not, it was just an enjoyable afternoon. Take care. Have a good day.